What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I just got home from work, and since I'm not cooking tonight, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the car for a little bit. Let me show you what I've already done. Alright, so I've already wiped these down again, cleaned up all of them. So my spark plug wires are pretty clean. The MSD ones, haven't had any issues with them since, besides this one rubbing from being shoved between the block and the oil cap. The only thing I've done so far that I didn't film was putting the heat shield back over the exhaust manifold, and I did wrap it in the gold tape on the top, and I did put some on the bottom as well to keep the heat against the header and kind of look good from up top since it's going to be show season. The next thing I'm going to be working on, I won't focus on it, but is this connector here. This is for the oil pressure gauge that my buddy Christian finally helped me install. We were having some free time before I started really working on the car, and it broke. When we were putting the motor back in, we'd installed this, but I wanted to get some shrink for the line or some cover for the line so I didn't have to worry about it at all, and I finally picked some up. So I have some corrugated stuff that's going to go over it to help protect it, since it does just have to go straight down under the heat shield, right next to the oil cooler adapter and the oil filter. So since that's going to do that, I have the length I'm going to need it at. Now I just need to go ahead and put the cover on it, and I'm going to electrical tape around it as well. Then I can connect everything and finally have an oil pressure gauge that works. So that didn't take too long, got it all done. Had enough, I made sure to have enough extra in order to route it into this box, which eventually I'm going to end up making a cover for once I can kind of figure out how to get this curve correct. That way when I go to shows, because this is where all this stuff is, in order to make it look a little bit better, you're going to have a custom cover here, probably with some decals or something over it just to make it look good on both sides. Just because it's, you know, not good looking there, and you can definitely see it towards the shows. So I just want something where it's a cover that maybe I can unclip this or it'll slide just into the groove here. So I am trying to figure out how to make that with some cardboard and then go ahead and go from there. But I got everything wrapped. You probably can't see it, but it goes here, through the hole here, down, attach it to these lines so it doesn't go anywhere, and then directly to where it needs to go. So at least I got that done. Now I can go ahead and put the coil back on, and once I reattach all that, I can start putting the intercooler back on. I think this is going to wrap it up for the night. So this is all installed. You know, the coil, I am missing one bolt. I didn't tighten it down last time, or I didn't put thread locker on it, which I did this time. So since I didn't put the thread locker on it, it's gone. And I didn't thread locker this one because I'm not going to be driving the car. I'm actually going to pull all these off to figure out what size I need and go ahead and get replacement ones that look a little bit better. So I may go ahead and order some downstar bolts if I can figure out some ones that I like with the color that's going to play with the way the rest of the car is going to be. So I may end up just getting some black ones, because I think they look good. Once I put the other valve cover, I got to paint the valve cover on my spare motor, and eventually I'll swap it all over. It is show season, so I do want to make the car a little bit nicer. So between strut tower caps I'm going to be designing and the covers I'm going to be making for the two cowls, I want to start making everything nice. Once the car gets back from the dealership, I'm going to go ahead and also replace this with the Samco hose, I believe, that I have. And then I also have the Mishimoto coolant hoses that I'm going to add in when I go to do the heater core, which I still have to do. So when I do that, I'll go ahead and swap out the coolant hoses, since it'll all be out of the way anyways. I think that'd be a good time to swap it out. Even though you won't really be able to see them during the show, so maybe I won't. But I do need to add the other intercooler. I want to go ahead and recoat it with the intercooler paint since it needs to be done. And I want to do the oil cooler as well. And then I also want to touch up the bumper support here. I do need to clean it off and then paint it before show season, just in case because you will see the brackets and stuff. So I do want to make sure all that's painted for here and here. And then clean up the stickers or remove them completely and put something else there, since they are kind of coming up. Maybe I can order some new stickers from the dealer. That way they still look good. But cleaned up a little bit, got everything on the top mounted. So the only thing I have left to do is going to be on this side of the car. So I do have to put the fender liner back in. Let me see if I can get a little bit more light. So I do have to put the fender liner back in, and then put the wheel back on. Got to put the supports, the bumper supports there, and make sure the oil lines are protected for the oil cooler. So I want to go ahead and reinforce those. And you can actually see the ATI super dampener that I put on, that's all torqued down, ready to go. So that's a big improvement from stock, or at least it's what I've heard. I know a lot of people are running them, but you can already see all the oil on the motor behind it that I'm hoping the dealership can clean off, because I really don't want to get in there and have to clean it all again. But only a couple more things to do, and the car should be back on the road. And that'll be the next video, is tightening up the last few things for the bumper support and the bumper. That is going to wrap up tonight's video. Go ahead and leave a comment, a like, go ahead and subscribe, click the little bell for notifications, and I'm going to try to keep producing more videos. So I've got a couple already lined up for the weekend that I'm going to be doing on the truck. I got to do a bunch of maintenance and like an oil change. I got to do diff service still, or yeah, do the diff service still. So I have that all planned out. I'm going to be at my buddy Jesse's house, and I'm going to be doing it there because he's got a driveway that I can use that's not the garage because the height of the truck. So I've also got a couple more surprises going on with the truck that hopefully I can reveal then. But if not, see you guys in the next video.